Hey guys, it's Chris Fayte with Shoot the Game. I had a lot of requests for this too, and I'm also going to put a link for Sneaky Mofo's Trainer Maker tutorial as well as my Trainer Maker tutorial. They're two different methods doing the exact same thing. That's one thing I wanted to talk about in Cheat Engine, is that the generic Trainer Maker really allows you a lot of freedom to really be creative. So there's no real one-way set in stone as far as how you design your trainers and things like that. However, there are certain basic rules that you need to follow first that you have to do. And a lot of people are saying, well, if things aren't working, I'm getting errors all the time. Well, you got to make sure you follow these simple basic steps. Alright, first off, most importantly, make sure that you have tested all your cheats out. You have gone all the way through the game with your cheats active and tried them in different scenarios to make sure that they are continuing to work and there are no problems. Turning them on, turning them off. If you're having trouble with that, you need to go fix them. The next most important step. But once you have all that done, the next most important step, you have to set hotkeys for these cheats. It's a must. So you do that by clicking right click on each one of these and just go create a hotkey for it. Also, here in the optional description, this is what's going to show up on your trainer. If not, these are going to show up. So if you want to change something up, you can do that, and so on and so forth. So you create a hotkey, and now whatever hotkey you set, that's what's going to turn that cheat on for your trainer. Okay, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, so now I have gone through and I have made hotkeys for every single one of these, and that's what you want to do. And that's what you want to do, is make sure that you have hotkeys set for each other. Now, before you really get into making the trainer, you want to it just depends on your creativity and what you want to do. This is where you can really go nuts. But if you did want to use pre-made pictures like off Google, you need to be careful about copyright infringements. Now, if you're going to sell your trainers or things of that nature, you don't want to use copyrighted pictures or posters, things of that nature, because you will be infringing upon copyright. There are ways to avoid that if you are going to do that for like donations, or you're selling your trainer, or whatever the case may be. You go to Google, and it really helps you out a lot there. And just put in the game that you're making your trainer for. Just click on search, and what you want to do is go to images, and then here in the search tools, you want to go to usage rights, and you can search for each one of these, and these will give you a list. These are labeled for reuse. These are ones that you can use and you can sell. These images are not copyrighted and they're free to use. So you can use these if you want to make a trainer where you want to sell it or ask for donations to have it, or whatever the case may be. You can use these type pictures labeled for reuse, or labeled for reuse with modification depending on what you want to do. Okay, so now that we got our pictures, we got all our hotkeys set, we're ready to go start our trainer now. So we're going to go ahead and click on File, go down to Generate Generic Trainer Lewis script from table. And that'll bring up our trainer generator, and we can customize this however you want to. I like to get a little more involved in that, or you could just treat it like this and be done with it. So it just depends on what you want. Make sure the game is running in the background, that way the process name is in the list, and that way your trainer will connect to the game itself when people bring it up. Title, we want to name it Trainer, and here you can go ahead and put your information. and you can play sounds on it. The standard sounds are this here when they activate it and deactivate it. I have my own that I created myself, and what I'm going to do is add sounds. I'm going to go to that folder if I can find it. And there it is in my trainer shit folder. I made my own little custom sounds. Let me add the deactivate. Should have added them both together. I didn't think about it. There we go. So instead of having that, I got my own. So when they turn on the cheat, it sounds like this.
Cheat activated.
And when they turn it off,
Cheat terminated.
Just like that. Alright, so I want to go ahead and design user interface manually. That way I can stick my own things on there. I don't like using the standard anymore. I like just create my own thing, and HuniePop had a great tutorial on different ways you can modify that, and like I say, go take a look at it. I'm not going to really explain that because he's already went into full detail about it, and it's really good stuff, so go take a look at it. About button brought out. I'm going to delete that extra panel, but I want the about button in there. I'm getting rid of the image because I'm going to put my own in there anyway, so it doesn't matter. There we go. First thing I like to do is go ahead and set up how my background is going to look first, and then I build around based off what my background looks like, because I want things to look good on it. So that's what I'm going to do, and the way to do that is to form designer. You'll be spending a lot of time with this thing. These are things you can do manually up here as well for design purposes. And this is the image button, so we want to place our image on here. I'm just going to go ahead and cover the whole thing, just like that. And over here, this is the image that we just created, the TCE image. And we want to go and load it up. We can name it. And here's the picture itself, so we want to bring up our dead space picture. I forgot to do something. My bad. Yeah, that's this. Let me bring up Photoshop. There's something I wanted to do. I forgot about it. While I'm bringing that up, let me cut it so we're not sitting here waiting, so I don't have to edit it out. So if you have like a image editing software, you can modify it here. You know, you can put your things in here as well. I'm bringing up, I'm going to put Cheat the Game on here. And this is one of those free non-commercial usages that you can use. Like I say, I can use it anyway. You still want to kind of research that if you plan on selling those. So, you know, be careful what you use on there, even with that tab. Please be careful with that, and make sure that you get the appropriate permissions before you go to sell your trainers. Now, I just give my trainers away. I'm not selling it or anything like that. I just give them away, so I'm not infringing on anybody's copyright. So keep that in mind when you're watching me do this. All I want to do is my logo here, which I also made in Photoshop. I'm going to put that on here. It's right in there. I'll stick it over in the corner a little bit. We'll have to adjust it a little bit. And now let's turn that to screw. I'm just going to spruce that just a bit. Let's merge that down. And I'm going to open up a new. And we want to create, I usually create a 500 by 480 box, pixel length, and then I want to conform it to that because that's what it's going to look like on my trainer. So we want to conform it to that. Something like that. Yeah, alright. Yeah, something like that. There, we can just save it. Save it as a JPEG and ES3 trainer. And now we're ready to put this in our trainer. Let's bring it back up here. And let's go ahead and load that picture up, the one we just created. And you'll see it appear right here. And you can kind of conform it around. You can move it around however you see fit on here and just set your trainer. Just kind of move it around, and then you can just kind of move your trainer with it to make it look however you want. But so far, it looks pretty good. And here we can go ahead and be creative with our different buttons. I usually just do these all together, and you'll find those here in the object inspector. You'll start with your first cheat, which is 0, all the way to here, and just highlight all of them, and you can make changes uniformly on this. And what I do is I normally set the background is the very first one. I usually set that to black, and then I go down to the fonts. And I like using my own type fonts. Depending on what game it is, I have different fonts. You can upload, or excuse me, download free ones at 1001fonts.com, and they just got tons and tons and tons of fonts you can use. I usually set it about 9 on here. And we'll go ahead. I'm going to change that to a blue, something real bright. Let me see. That's what it'll look like. And you can move that around as you see fit. Just kind of set it where it looks good to you. Alright, that was wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and change the length of it. I'm going to set that down to about maybe 195. Let's see what that looks like. I don't want to cut off my cheats. I need to extend it out some, so we're 250. Alright, almost there. 255. Nope, I don't want that. 10. Oh, 350, I think about 330 below. That looks good. I'm not done with Photoshop. I'm not done with Photoshop. So what you want to do is set it like that. Make sure nothing's clicked on it. Because I like using the little boxes on the sides over here. And I want that to show up in the trainer like this. So what I do is I hold down Control, print screen, come back to Photoshop. I'll open up a new page and just paste that in there like so. That didn't turn out too well. My picture in the background moves, so I can move it over. There we go. That's better. Let's redo that one. Print screen. There we go. That's better. And we're just going to cut that out. Control C, which copies it. Come back over to here and paste it. And all I really wanted was this right here. So I want to line these up as best as possible. I bring down my opacity a little bit so I can line it up directly over that. Roughly. Snap turn on. Snap is a good feature, but sometimes it can work against you. And see, I got it perfectly lined up, just like that. And really, all I wanted to show was this right here, my cheat notes. So I can take my eraser now, my eraser tool, and I can just go back over it and blend those together. You can't even hardly tell that that's two different pictures. I'm sure there's way easier ways to do this, but you know, I never claim to be a Photoshop expert. As long as the job gets done, who cares, right? Alright, so we're going to resave this. Space 3. BG for background. Right, now we're going to go back and we're going to replace this. So we're going to take this back out. Okay. Let's click on our background, TC image, and we're going to delete that one. And we're going to bring up a new one. So we hit our form designer and click on image. And I'm just going to re-upload the new one. Not just like doing things from scratch. You could just actually just load it from the other image, but I like doing things from scratch. Just saves me some headaches later down the line, it seems to. So now when I bring it up, it's going to have my labels on there. That's all I really want, because now I'm going to use these old labels and just use the boxes. I'm going to show you. So we go back to our labels here, the ones we want to modify, and there's an option, has check box. I want to set that to true, like that, and you'll see it'll bring up little boxes. Now when they click on your trainer, when they hit the hotkey, a little check mark is going to show in the boxes to show that it's on, plus your activation sound will come on. And for width, you want to come down here and you want to put that on 12. Now we just need to line it up with our other cheats. That should be right on the money. Ah! There we go. That was better. And there we have that. So really all the cheat codes are just a box. I shortened it just to look like the box, and this is just part of my background image. So only thing that'll show up are check marks. I don't have this changed at all. Okay? So everything is set. My cheats are working. It's put on the exact way I want it. I've got everything labeled. So all I need to do now is make sure that I know if it's a 32-bit or 64-bit. I showed you how to do it manually one way, and I'm going to show you another now. And I want to thank some tip givers in my last video that posted this in the message, which I really do appreciate, guys. Thank you so much for that. You can also find out if it's 32-bit or 64-bit game. If the game is running, just go to Task Manager. I have mine pinned down here, but to get to Task Manager, the easy way is you Control-Alt-Delete, and you'll go to this screen, click on Task Manager. And just, if it looks like this, click on More Details. And here's Dead Space 3, and it tells you it's a 32-bit game right there. So there's all kind of ways you can tell if your game is 64 or 32-bit. Okay, all kind of ways. And I want to thank the guys for pointing this out. I don't know why that eluded me, but it did. And this is definitely a great way to go tell. If it doesn't show for some odd reason, you have a manual way from the last vid to go find out. So you got multiple ways to know, because you need to get that right. So generate trainer. And for right now, I always recommend not to save it on your desktop. I always recommend to save it in your local disk. Just create you a new folder just specifically for that. I can't spell, as you can tell. Good. And just go ahead and rename it. Whatever you want. Click save, and it's going to bring up this screen here. One thing we forgot to do, we forgot to make an icon, and so we need to do that. There's a specific site that I do go to for that, and if you don't know how to get to it, I go to this one right here, online-convert.com, convert to ICO. And I'll leave this link in the description for you as well. It's also on my other video. I left that link. It takes you directly to this page here. We're just going to upload our image that we created earlier, the JPEG of it. Okay, and convert file, They don't take it very long at all. Just takes just a few seconds. And just save that to your desktop, and it will save it in ICO format. That's an icon. And this will be the thumbnail of your trainer that sits, wherever they put it on their computer. And it's just a thumbnail, so they're just not seeing something blank sitting there. We go back to Cheat Engine, and we're going to click on Change ICO. I should have set it over here at Set Icon. That's where I should have done that. But you can do it this way also, don't really matter. It's going to be the exact same name of your JPEG. You just need to find the ICO. There it is right here. As you see, icon format on the type. And that's what they're going to see on their desktop with your trainer. We did tick mark the box. Target process is 32-bit, and we are just going to click generate. We're good to go. This trainer has been successfully generated. Click OK. Do not close anything down yet. Okay. If you need to make changes, it's best just to go ahead and leave it up for the time being. And we want to go to our trainer file, and we want to test it out. Here's our trainer right here. And it should attach itself to the game. As you see, none of my cheats are on right now. And here's our trainer. We want to make sure it works, so we're going to go. Okay, so let's just go make sure it's working. Now, some of these cheats where I'm at in the game right now aren't going to work yet because they're not in an area where I have that yet, because this is still the beginning of the game here. So all I'm really going to do is just try a couple of them.
Activated.
That was infinite health and infinite ammo, so let's just see. As you see, those are working. And all the others do work as well. So that's pretty much it, fellas. You now have a trainer that you can zip up, load it up to Mediafire or whatever online storage you may have, Dropbox or whatever, and you can promote your sites or your different things and give away trainers to people that can also enjoy the cheats that you worked hard on looking up. But that's basically it, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave them down there in the description, or you can write me privately via YouTube. I try to get to each and every one. I'm being bombarded with messages, so please forgive me if I can't get to you right away. It's not that I'm not wanting to. Also, join my friends over at guidedhacking.com. That's guidedhacking.com. A great resource of knowledge for game hackers. They go well beyond Cheat Engine. They go into C++, C#, IDA Pro, all kind of ways to increase your knowledge in game hacking scenarios. And it's really good to learn these different languages of computers and how they operate, because you can only just sell from there. So it's a great place for resources. Also, you can, if you're interested in hacking Android games, my friend Bionomi89 has his YouTube channel going strong. He's also an affiliate over at guidedhacking.com. Please go over to his channel. I'll post it down there into the description, and he gives full instructions on how to hack Android games. There is a Cheat Engine app that he is mastering, and he's teaching other people how to master it. He's a really good Android game hacker, so join him over there as well. Well, I appreciate it, fellas. You take care of yourself. Keep on hacking. Most importantly, please enjoy yourself. That's really what it's all about. You cheat the game, fellas, because believe me, it doesn't mind cheating you. Take care now.